12. Neural reconstruction and consciousness. Emergence, the material basis of awakening. Neural reconstruction and consciousness. Emergence, the material basis of awakening. Awakening is not a miracle but a completely new arrangement of the neural network. In the past, awakening was often misunderstood as a mysterious advent or a miracle of the soul. In fact, awakening has a clear neurophysiological basis and information dynamics path, which can be summarized into the following stages. 1. Awakening is a sudden change in a neural state. Awakening is not some kind of divine possession, but a state transition caused by the reconstruction and synchronous activation of the brain's neuronal network. In meditation or deep focus, the brain begins to gradually reduce external input, interference, low frequency, noise. When sufficient stillness is achieved, heart-rate and brainwaves tend to the alpha-theta band. Neurons will begin to reorganize and establish new network paths. This is not to shut down the brain, but to restart the operating system into a more sensitive perception layer of self and cosmic information. 2. Meditation is just a tool. The purpose is to quiet the nerves. The way of meditation is not important whether it is breathing control, image immersion, body repetition such as entangle, even reaching a dhyana state and running, painting, and writing. The real key is let the neural activity enter a state of quiet, but not asleep. This state is a background electric field with almost zero noise, suitable for stimulating the self-organization reconstruction of the neural network. 3. Emergence, not inspiration, but logical acceleration. The emergence after awakening is not an explosion of mysterious feelings, but a direct integration ability of a super-speed logic network. Usually, human thinking is linear deduction, but after neural reorganization, nonlinear high-dimensional parallel deduction will appear. This is manifested as instant understanding, sudden clarity, inspiration, explosion. In essence, consciousness jumps from continuous calculation to structural awareness. In other words, you are no longer using logic to deduce the result, but directly accessing the structural origin of the result itself. For the awakener awakens a new conscious collaborative network. You are not communicating, but you have entered the neural form that can be perceived by the cosmic information structure. The so-called cosmic information structure is not information from the outside world, but the macroscopic coding system DNA gives nerves, gives consciousness that you already have in your body. The awakener is connected to the perception interface of this system to the external information field. Through the transition of the neural consciousness network, you become a resonant body of the information structure, not just a processor. Summary: awakening is not mysticism, but the common result of physical and information order. Awakening is reconstruction of neuronal structure, redistribution of information paths, parallel transition of logical systems, structural access to the cosmic order. Everyone has this potential. Meditation is just a way. Calmness is the key. Emergence is a signal, and awareness is the goal. Consciousness is the operating system of existence, and language is just its old version driver. The difference between it and the existing philosophical system, traditional philosophical system, METANOESIS, define the world with language and compile the world with consciousness experienced. Truth equals logical deduction. Truth equals stable consensus of multi-dimensional consciousness. Knowledge is spread through texts. Knowledge is spread through structured perception paths such as meditation, collective synchronization, the dispute between empiricism and rationalism, diffusion practice of consciousness field information wave facing the human social order, facing the existence structure of the consciousness body itself. Philosophers are observers and awakeners are builders plus signposts plus communicators. The structure of consciousness can be perceived, reconstructed and spread. Language is a transitional medium, and experience is the ontological semantics. The meaning of existence is not inferred, but naturally emerges after crossing, gazing, reconciliation, and renewal. The next leap of human civilization depends on empathetic information, synchronization, rather than single-point genius. Enlightenment core terminology such as information wave, state of consciousness, transition stage, cognitive density, emergence node, closing parenthesis. Meditation practice structure. The stage pointed to by each video, the perception target, the reconstruction dimension, philosophical worldview table for newcomers to understand. Name METANOESIS. Superconscious philosophy worldview foundation. Information is the basic particle of the universe, and consciousness is the reflection of its evolution. Operation interface, Nova meditation guidance path. Staged practice method, methodology, nonverbal experience structure plus resonance, synchronization guidance, communication mechanism, video, sound, structured rhythm to build a synchronization field. Spiritual core, self-awakening is the activation key of the universe. Information chain goal, establish an inheritable consciousness transition system to serve the human mind upgrade. Finally, let me give a declaration to the future awakeners from our common philosophy. Truth is not hidden in words, nor in gods, but in the light of the moment you are awakened. The following is the content structure designed for the 5-stage practice of METANOESIS, which can directly participate in the meditation-guided consciousness development. Stage 1. Introductory meditation. Learn to calm down, breathe, and cognitive flow. Keywords: present, breathing, awareness, stability. Goal: establish a coordinate system of consciousness, anchor the present, and train basic consciousness and awareness. Content structure: 1. Enter a meditative state. Turn off external interference and let go of the idea of doing. Use the breathing countdown method to anchor consciousness, such as inhaling for 4 seconds and exhaling for 6 seconds. Language guidance: bring your attention back to the breath at the tip of your nose. It is your door to the inner universe. 2. Activate the awareness mechanism. Observe the body's feelings and scan from head to toe. Feel the temperature, pressure, and rhythm, and remain non-judgmental and non-cantrolingo. Introduction: your body is the map of consciousness, the starting point of all experience. 3. Perceive the flow of thoughts. Let thoughts float like clouds, without attachment or resistantio. The state of observing yourself for the first time. I am not these thoughts. I am the present who observes these thoughts. Phase 2. Information retrospection. Entering the deep consciousness structure through the appearance. Keywords: deep history, image, non-verbal information. Goal: perceive the information archive layer hidden behind the self-content structure. 1. Enter the information field. Modeo: meditate again and extend the meditation time 15 to 20 minutes. Focus on a recurring emotion, dream, or senio. Ask yourself, what is this? Where does it come from? What does it look like? To observe the emergence of non-verbal images. Let go of the explanation and perceive the pictures, notes, and shapes that appear. Emphasize: images don't have to make sense. They are the act of consciousness. Retrospection. 3. Record and write or draw immediately after meditation to capture the image of the memento. Learn to use information memory instead of story memory. Guiding words: what you see is not an illusion, but consciousness repeating history. Stage 3. Door of fear. Reconciliation with subconscious resistance. Keywords: fear, repression, protection mechanism, subconscious transformation. Goal: identify and integrate internal resistance and activate the path of deep transformation. Content structure: 1. Identify the entrance where fear appears. When entering meditation, pay attention to the content that you don't want to touch. Fear often appears in the following forms: confusion, emptiness, oppression, abstract shadows. 2. Don't escape. Don't indulge. Teach the method of face breathe. Accompany guiding language. Fear is not an enemy, but a remnant of a protection mechanism. It wants you to look back at it. 3. Symbolic clearance. Visualize the image. Practice of going through a door or talking to a shadow. Give shape to fear and complete a symbolic reconciliation in meditation or subsequent writing. Suggestions: what does this fear really want to protect me from? Stage 4. Self-reorganization. Clearing trauma and reconstructing self-definition. Keywords: clearing, reshaping, belief rupture. Structural reconstruction. Goal: replace the internal program and start a new personality configuration. Structure. Content structure: 1. Review the old self-definition. Guide reflection. Who am I? What am I most afraid of others saying about me? What am I most afraid of admitting? Write down the deepest belief sentence, such as, I am not worthy of being loved. I must be perfect too. Have a trauma dialogue. We'll use the meditation inner talk method. Face your childhood self and talk to him softly. Emphasize acceptance, recognition, and empathy, rather than criticism and suppression. Guiding words: you don't need to change him, just hold his hand again. 3. Structural replacemento. Create a new core belief, such as I am the completeness I am looking for. Plant it in daily behavior, small habits, and language to build a new consciousness network. Remember, new beliefs are not declarations, but new neural channels. Stage 5. Resonance transition. Participate in the collective consciousness network and activate collaborative evolution. Keywords: collaboration, consensus field, consciousness network, group self. Goal: enter the transpersonal consciousness layer. Resonate with others and evolve. Content structure: 1. Perceive the existence of consciousness outside of me. When meditating, no longer focus on the individual, but perceive all beings in space. Practice: when I breathe in, someone is also breathing in. When I am sad, there is also resonance somewhere in the world too. Establish consciousness resonance. Practicio. Group meditation. Synchronous breathing. Collective intention setting practice can be synchronized remotely. Emphasize nonverbal emotional perception. Feel the heartbeat of the group, the will of the group. 3. Start the awareness of roles in the information network. Ask yourself, what kind of vibration do I want to bear for this consciousness network? Feedback. Daily actions, creations, and expressions to this field of guidance. Awakening is not completed by individuals. It is generated by the cosmic information field in a collaborative way. This is a key sixth stage supplement, which not only closes the loop of the entire system, but also introduces the mechanisms of empirical and information right back from METANOESIS brings strong reality anchoring and verification possibilities. Stage 6, information alignment. Verify meditation results with reality keywords, empirical awareness, consciousness mapping, structural verification, event resonance goal. Apply the information obtained in meditation to the real world, and cross-verify through the development of events to determine the alignment of consciousness structure. 1. Select real events as consciousness mapping. Points O. Select an ongoing social, technological, cultural, environmental event. Each issue requires the following characteristics: traceability, clear progressive events, multidimensional structurality with technical, psychological, political, and ethical multidimensional entry points, group resonance causing widespread attention or conflict. O. Examples: AI builds, wars and ceasefires, space exploration, natural disasters, the rise or collapse of a consciousness awakening movement. 2. Conduct directional meditation. Enter multidimensional interpretation from events or meditation is no longer generalized, but focuses on a problem or event, such as, what is the structural or behind this technological change? Why do such events recur? Is it a projection of the group's subconscious? Is the system resistance I perceive manifesting itself in this event? O. Guide into the following mode. Feel the connection between yourself and the event. Activate the non-logical receiving layer. Emotional projection. Symbol emergence. Collective energy field. Perception after acquisition. Record with images, words, and physical feelings. 3. Write a meditation analysis. Document. Time node. Output, a predictive interpretation with the following structure. O. Meditation focus. Information field in the Israel-Hamas conflict to observed deep structure. The national energy field is extremely distorted, gives detonating into a potential script replay of ethnic oppression and physical feelings. Stomach tightening. Temples throbbing violently gives may indicate the resonance of collective survival in CTO. Time window. Unexpected reversal may occur within 3 weeks. Keep the files and observe the direction of events in the future for backward verification. For group collaboration, cross-validation, optional or encourage multiple practitioners to meditate on the same event and submit a consciousness field. Report O. Compare the resonance points and differences, and conduct a small group consciousness test. A collective future consciousness experiment archive can be gradually formed. 5. Feedback mechanism. Whether your consciousness energy has aligned with the real structure. O. If the prediction fails, it is not a failure, but a calibration. O. If it hits, it is not a magical power, but the echo of structural awareness. O. The ultimate goal is not to predict the world, but to perceive the synchronization between one's inner self and the world structure. The value and positioning of this stage. Dimension empirical from meditation, feeling to event verification. Establish an objective observation, system responsibility, upgrade consciousness from personal healing to structural insight and dialogue with civilization, collective encourage. Group awareness experiments to form an awakener observation platform. Closed loop, open up the complete channel of receiving, gives integrating, gives expressing, gives reflecting.
If you agree with our point of view, please subscribe and share so that more people can complete the intersection and collision of information together.